On this episode of the Armor Bites podcast,
it's the pocket mafia
controlling
the world.
Yeah, it's big clothing.
It is,
And they want women to have to carry purses around. I'll bet you that's what it is. They want women to carry purses.
It's the purse mafia.
The purse mafia.
It's headed up by like Coach and.
Oh my God, we can't air this episode. They're going to be onto us. They're going to come after us.
I'm
not going to be safe in my own house, Mike.
I'm gonna no more.
These are completely conjecture and have no relation to any events, real or imagined, in the world.
What did you know about Hillary?
What? Who? You know, in this post, we can't. Can we say COVID yet?
I don't know.
Or is that still
virus
banned on
of
YouTube?
unknown origin?
In this world, post-virus of unknown origin.
check 1 2, mic check. Will
All the mics in the room, please stand up. That concludes the mic check. Thank you very much.
We're here, and welcome to Armor Bites episode 11, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, we're in double digits. We know that much.
Yeah, welcome back to the Armor Bites podcast.
Yep, and as usual, it's been some time since we've been able to record and edit and get all this stuff done. It's like, look, we just have lives. We're busy. We're tired. Sorry. I can't help it. I'm sitting here exhausted, but I'm here to entertain you.
Our blood, sweat, and tears go into this. Literally, I gashed my foot open earlier. I was literally bleeding on the floor.
Yes.
Blood, sweat, and tears into this for you.
And, you know, we got some more wounds that we can show off. Here's some super glue. Here's some scrapes.
Ooh, what is that one?
Now we can see it.
Gash yourself on something?
Scrapes from doing plastic.
Oof.
Yeah, it happens. Man, we put our blood, sweat, and tears into doing all this.
You lost part of your finger.
I have. I have. Like, I can actually parlay that into a little bit of a story, and I'll try to make it quick.
Story time.
Yeah, I don't remember how old I was. I was probably somewhere between 11 and 14. And my dad and I were walking into Sam's Club or something of that nature, and the conversation was something about, it led into basically just me saying, "No, Dad, I work." And he said, "No, you don't work." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I've been working for you since I was like 5. You know, he's like, "Let me see your hands." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, your hands aren't scratched up or anything. No, I'm just paraphrasing that. Well, now, look at my hands, Dad. Look at my hands. Scar, cut off. Super glue, scar. Yeah, okay,
over,
Dad,
yeah.
I work. All right. All right.
The risks of building armor.
It's the risk of just working with power tools and things of that nature. It's going to happen. And, you know, cutting your thumb off on a table saw, that'll definitely give you a new respect for power tools. Chop saw, I'm fine. Table saw?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of power tools in general. I've never lost any bits, but I know way too many people that have.
That just takes me right back to Step Brothers. No power tools.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not. It's my toothbrush. No, Dale. No power tools.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of power tools. No, I mean,
there's nothing wrong with them.
I'll use a cordless driver drill, but I do not like saws and spinning blades and things like that. I know too many people that have been.
Not a fan of hot melted plastic flying in your face from a Dremel tool?
Dremels are okay.
Yeah.
Dremels are okay.
Hot plastic flying into your face?
Dremels are okay.
Okay.
But like saws of any sort, not a big fan. Yeah. Not a big fan. Table saws, circular saws, chop saws.
Table saws are truly the worst. No bias, but yeah, they will really get you. Chop saws will get you, you know, but when you're bringing down a chop saw, it's like, okay, is my hand in the path of the blade? Yes or no? Just answer that question before you go. And then like wood catching it and stuff and pulling you into it. And like one of the rules, you never wear gloves while doing things like that.
So the glove can't get caught.
Yeah, it can get caught in, and then you could have like filet-o arm going on there. And yeah, but no, just get used to power tools. Speaking of power tools, how's your TK armor coming along, James?
We've made some progress on it.
Made some progress here recently. Anything?
Yeah. We did the shop day.
How long has this project been going on? Huh?
Oh, a couple of years now.
Yeah, I remember a couple of kits being handed to you like in March of 2020. Here,
was it 2020? Okay, so we're beyond slightly beyond the 3-year mark.
Yeah. I just built one in like a day. Yeah.
I mean, I'll bring those in if you want to build them in a day.
According to my calendar, probably not until October-ish.
Insert the sweet Georgia Brown. Ain't nobody got time for that meme.
No, I mean that's true. It's like right now I'm actually stacking up my work for when we get back from Dragon Con.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I had my workbench behind me cleared where I keep all my work stacked up, and now I'm piling it back on. Yeah. It's like I'm just
That's
sad.
the way of things. It's the way of things sometimes.
It's like there's so much work to do.
It's the way of things. This helmet really does look good.
It does. So that'll bring us into the little product update. Since yay, this is what this show really is. It's 850 Armorworks product update brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Got that one in. So resin printed SLA from Mystery Makers, Marco's Files here. He's one of our Patreons. Yeah, this was printed, I think, last week, give or take. It's been through cleanup, been through primer. There's like 4 tiny little spots we want to get.
I see the mold line.
Yep, you see that now?
Only on the inside.
On the inside,
so
yeah.
perfectly blended in
Oh,
on the
it was
outside.
really, I mean, that's the beauty of doing the resin. And there's only like a couple of spots here on the cheek that we're going to touch up before it.
A little bit of filler.
Yeah,
no
I mean,
big
that would
deal.
stand out with the final resin anyway. But this is actually going up on the site tonight. But for y'all, it'll only been up for like a week or something. Hey, I took all the pictures earlier today. So yeah, this will be rotocast. I didn't bring all the little accoutrements that come with it, and didn't feel like it. Another new thing is the Durasteel style chest. So this one's being painted for Death Watch scheme specifically. I got a hair up my butt, I think Thursday of last week, to say screw it, I'm gonna go ahead and do Death Watch. So started printing out all the things, making sure that everything was CRL accurate and perfect going across. And we're in the process of getting me a Death Watch done. Yeah, we got my helmet back there too. I didn't want to bring it in quite yet. We just did the purple on the visor area and paint's drying. I already kind of touched it when it was wet earlier to take some pictures for a customer, and I'm not taking the risk right now. We'll have that up on the site by the time this is aired. These files actually originated from Cam and Leon FX, who has put out some awesome models. I have especially loved Cam and Leon's and Mystery Maker stuff. Everything that's printed from them, and we've either transferred to molds or production prints.
I was going to say, didn't we showcase the 3D prints that became the molds on this one?
Actually, I don't think so, because these went really fast.
Okay. We had a Mando chest plate.
It was probably a different style, because I think we've got like 4 or 5 different Mando chests.
Yeah, I lose track of the Mando chests.
It's getting out there. We have 7 different back plates available right now. It's nuts. Now, man, if I would have had one ready, I would have brought in the armor. That would have been awesome. But this one actually started its life as a damaged Chapter 1 Din Djarin Durasteel chest. So we did that one. And then right after that, or around the same time, yeah, it was right after that, we started the Chapter 2 chest, with the whole major difference being one little dent right here. And then we took that and we cleaned it up and got a nice clean version that we're running for this. And I had to modify a few files for the knees, for the gauntlets, because a lot of Death Watch is just standard Din Djarin armor. But there's just a few little modifications. Got all that done. That's available with Jetpack on the site right now. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to wear it. It's kind of funny how when we started this, hey, announcements, we're doing all these projects. Here we are already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that fast. And I don't know how long we've been doing this, 4 months maybe. Counted it up the other day.
You know, thanks to rapid prototyping from the world of the advancements of 3D printing. It really is amazing.
I counted it up the other day. We have made 70 new molds past few months.
Think about that compare that to, you know, when you first started in the world of armor making and you were having to hand sculpt molds.
Nah, we could do like 20, 25 in 6 months.
Yeah.
And that's running pretty fast.
That's running really fast, actually.
But what we spat out here is just amazing. And that's not even counting the failures. I had some failures, some things, they just didn't come out the way I wanted them to, so they got canned and
You're at 75 successful molds.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Because we have a couple more out there that are being worked on right now, and a
just in
couple
the
more
past
on the printers.
4 months or so.
It's actually about time to slow it down. We have one more little project coming up. That's going to end up being the Scout Trooper. I don't even know if I'm counting that Scout helmet we did in the molds. It needs a little bit more work. I mean, it's a nice looking helmet, but I want to make sure it's perfect before it actually gets released. For now, though, it is time to take a chill pill on the new products. Helmets, I'm gonna start focusing on the helmets a little bit more. They always take a little bit longer to take care of because we got to do the mold rubbers and all that. Now, I usually like to complain about doing brush-on rubber molds, and that matrix molding is a lot better. But in the case of like the somewhere between 6 and 8 Mando helmets that have to be molded, I'm actually going to be approaching these a little bit different and going to be using a brush-on rubber to do a majority jacket to eliminate as much seam lines as possible. Either we're going to keep the seam line down here on the bottom because this is going to get raised up before it gets molded, and it's going to have a flare coming off of it a little bit. Or the seam line is going to be just barely up into the actual helmet itself. So we're trying to eliminate cleanup and finish work. That is on your end as a customer, but it's also on our end for finishing.
I mean, it's on us to make it as as simple as can be reasonably done.
Right. And I don't mind sanding out a seam, but just this past week we're doing a major run of helmets. I think we're painting up something like 10 helmets, give or take, right now, and 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 of them had seams, and it was like, we get the seams sanded, we got some pinholes, we got some filling to do, you got to wait, you got to sand, you got to prime, you got to sand. Like, let's start trying to eliminate it just a little bit, so it's not so much labor on our end, and we can just get stuff spat out a little faster.
Yeah.
While we're still retaining the same kind of quality. That's number 1, is retaining the quality. Number 2 is keeping it affordable. Those are my primary points. So I'm very happy with this. We got a lot more still going on. These were just a couple of things that I could grab real quick that were actually going on around the shop right now. I love seeing this stuff. I was really happy with this when it came off of primer yesterday. It's not sanded. It's not sanded yet. So
it doesn't even just a few spots.
It's going to get some 800 grit to right before we mold it to make sure it's nice and smooth and pretty.
Yeah. Oh, it looks great. I mean, corner lines are wonderfully sharp and crisp, and it looks great.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I think right now, other than the Scout, that's probably the most major thing that I'll put in as an announcement. It's coming. I want to be sure it's right. It's going to originate from Chris, the prop guy, too. Been a great working relationship with him, so we want to keep that going. We may be seeing some Sabine live action stuff. I'm going to stay slightly tight-lipped about it because I have a little... I don't want to spill the beans too much, but I'm working with someone else on that too. It's still going to be Cam and Leon stuff. I'm working with another prop maker on it. So we'll just keep that quiet for right now and see what the reactions are in the future.
He says to the public podcast.
Yeah, we're working on something, but you're not going to know who's going to have it and who's going to be finishing it. So we're going to keep that as a mystery, and we're going to keep it in-house for a little bit too. We are going to do some finished ones. Larry, who was on one of our early podcasts too, he's been working with us lately. He painted this. He's been painting a lot of stuff. Super happy with Larry.
Yeah, I saw him in the back as I was coming in. He was over there diligently, detail painting something.
Larry's great. If y'all knew him the way we knew him, he's just a good guy. No qualms with him. He's 18 Bravo, stayed deployed for his entire military career, and he's just amiable, he's friendly, he's knowledgeable about everything. It's almost like having a little clone of myself running around back there, but with a much better attitude.
Yeah, he's not nearly as angry as you are most of the time.
Okay, I have my work mood, and then I have my, life mood. And then if you get me riled up about something, I'll get really passionate about it, and then, it'd be like Jekyll and Hyde in the same face. Oh, hey. Yeah, just real happy and go lucky. I'll chill you out and then smile at you.
No. Once you get in a bad mood, you stay.
It can. I can. It depends on how I roll out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
Which is usually with a lot of cracks, groans, and swearing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Know that feeling.
I know. I woke up again. Damn.
Well, I don't know that feeling, but I know the crackles and groans and pops and stuff.
Oh, the pops. My knee pops are getting louder. I noticed it last
Trying to
night
get my spine aligned in the morning, listening to all the pops as my vertebrae get all lined up. It's crazy, dude.
We need to go in on a hot tub.
You
know?
Not a hot tub fan.
Oh, that's my goal right now.
Actually, what works the best for me is getting into a pool where I can like float from some sort of like inner tube or something where my lower body is suspended.
Have that lower gravity.
Yeah, just let everything kind of, the gravity just sort of pulls everything down, and the gentle, motion in a pool, it all just gets lined up nice and even. That's the best for me.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
A pool?
No.
Oh.
Your backyard isn't big enough for a pool.
No, it's
okay,
not.
I'll get you a kiddie pool you can throw in the front yard.
We could have a pool if it was 3 feet wide. That's it.
I don't think county would permit it. No, that's a pond.
That's right. It's a koi
Throw
pond.
a fish in it, it's a pond.
We'll call it a water feature. How's that?
A water feature. Yes. Are you listening, Zillow?
That's right.
It's a water
It's
feature.
a water feature.
Yeah.
Zillow's already cottoned onto that stuff, man. They'll do anything they can to church up a turd.
Water feature. That's a low spot in your yard, and it rained for 2 weeks straight.
That's right. But on Zillow,
it's
a water feature.
No, I got one of those. No, if I remember, which I should, which I'll probably remember like January 1st, really. I know what I'm getting you. If I can find it cheap. Maybe I'll find it used and unsafe. Now you have to wonder in mystery.
Whatever it is, I don't want it.
I don't blame you. You probably wouldn't use it. It'd just take up space in your house, and every time you look at it, you just cuss me out. I could just see you and your wife arguing about it. Will you just get rid of that thing? No, it was a gift.
No, I'd throw it away.
Okay. No sentimental.
No. Or pass it on to somebody. Like I passed on that fake tree.
The FICA.
Whatever
Ficus.
it was, that fake tree that I got from the neighbor over in Louisiana. She was just dead set on us taking that fake tree from her.
Oh, man.
She wanted to give us that fake tree.
It was a parting gift, right?
Yeah, it was
a parting gift.
Yeah, it was. We were prepping to move back to Florida from there.
I think she just wanted to get rid of a tree.
Probably. Somebody gave it to her. She gave it to us. I gave it to you.
Man, I don't know where it is.
I think eventually that thing got thrown out.
It probably did.
I think I remember it making it into a dumpster finally.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe I have a faint little brain cell trying to remind me.
But still, it
back
sat
there.
here for 3 or 4 years or something
Probably.
like that.
Yeah.
So
I got so much junk. That attachment is tough sometimes, as you just get sick of seeing your junk. And you
I
just start throwing it away.
Yeah, I do not have that attachment. I real quick will reach a limit where it's like, no, I got too much crap. Some of this stuff's getting thrown away.
We've been on that spree in the shop here recently, reorganizing, cleaning. This junk's been sitting on the shelf. It's not getting used. Throw it out.
Yeah.
I'll have other people come and say, "Oh, don't tell me when you're throwing stuff out. Give it to me." Like, nah, it's going to the dumpster.
Well, I mean, in that scenario, tell people like, okay, we're doing an armor party this Saturday, and some of the stuff on the shelves is going to be getting given away.
It depends on what it is. Like some of them are old, outdated molds.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you don't need my old, outdated molds.
No.
Nobody needs that stuff. And I'm sure we're going to have a bunch of people chime in and say that, oh, no, I'd take it. It's like, nah. If we're not using it anymore, and that kind of applies to a lot of other prop makers too, unless, it's still a good quality product, there's a reason they're getting rid of it.
Yeah.
It's either you made a new one, you made a new mold, the mold you were using.
Made a better one or something.
Yeah, made a better one.
In which case, you don't want to give away that old one because
Right.
it's got flaws that are there that you've fixed in that newer version.
Then that's the artist conundrum too. Like, as the artist, you know where all the little flaws and mistakes are.
Yeah.
Okay? But whenever somebody gets it or someone else does, they don't see that. They just see the finished product.
Yeah.
So you have an intimate knowledge of
But when
every
it comes to
space.
like giving away your old molds, you don't want to give away a mold that you see as slightly flawed because you don't want that person to go on and make more costumes with that flawed mold.
that too.
You know?
Yeah, I
So-
could definitely see that. Oh, Oh, there was something. It just slipped. Oh, those brain cells.
Both of them
Both
rattling
of them.
around. In the bottom of their
I
brain
think
pan?
one of them is it's limping now. It's limping.
I see it like 2 marbles rolling around in a bowl.
And every once in a while, they like hit each other. And
there's a
spark.
little spark.
Just one little spark. There's your good idea for the year.
Yeah,
I think I've had
but
3
you got to
good
catch
ideas
it.
this year.
If you don't catch it before it's gone, like you're not getting it back. You shake your head around all you want. It's not coming back.
No, that's just making you more brain damaged. I got
right.
enough damage up there.
That's right.
Shoot, before we came out here, I ran into the paint booth without a mask on after it was freshly sprayed. I don't care. It wasn't that bad. You get used to it after a while.
The odor.
Yeah, you get used. No,
you do get used to it. Yeah.
Yesterday when we were forming, she was running the adhesion promoter and the primer.
No, those are
and
bad.
the fan
The
was actually
smell.
sucking it from the exhaust and back straight
Right
over
into
to
the shop.
us
Yep.
while we were forming. And I was like, I don't think this was a good idea today.
Well, you just needed to move. Well, was it just the
couldn't move.
wind was blowing it from the exhaust of
Yeah,
the paint
it goes
booth
from
out
the
to
back
the
of the
side
exhaust
shop?
with the filters, but it still stinks, and the fan was actually closer to the door because our big floor fan is broken right now.
Okay.
So it was just sucking it
The wind
straight
was
back over.
pushing it around
Yeah.
to the side where the floor or the big fan was, so it was pulling it in. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why that other brain cell's limping.
Yep. I got you.
Definitely. What's going to happen when I'm down to 1?
Good luck.
Oh. Do I get a brain transplant?
No, I wish.
Yeah. Be sure we get the one that says Abby Normal.
Jess and I keep, we're like watching these like sci-fi TV shows, and it's like, where's my cyborg replacement body? I just want to be a brain in a
microchip.
jar,
A microchip.
No, I want to
Extra
get rid of my
data
defective
storage.
spine.
Well, that too.
I want to be a brain in a jar inside a perfect, invulnerable, metal machine.
Well, now we're into Futurama and Fallout territory again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to be a head in a jar.
No, not a head in a jar. I want
Just
to
a
be
brain in a jar.
The brain in a jar.
So like
and
a
then,
robo-brain.
And then they put the brain inside, like a cyborg body, so that I would have the cyborg body, but it would just be, I wouldn't have to worry about my bad back or achy joints or anything like that.
No, you just have to oil yourself on occasion, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
When everything works right, a little bit of proactive maintenance is not an issue.
We can't oil anything that's organic.
Yeah,
It
I
doesn't
can't
quite work.
It doesn't
It
work.
does. Let's go. Okay, so in at least one of our last podcasts at this point, we posed a question: do you like your Earl Grey tea cold? And we did have one comment come back in that says he drinks it cold sometimes. So,
And he liked it.
and he liked it.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah.
not that off. Another comment that I kind of remember here was one lady saying she was so happy whenever we mentioned pockets, and she was proud of us for
pockets
knowing.
on costumes.
Yeah, she was proud of how excited women get with a pocket. So
Yeah. Talk to your wife about
Right.
that. I can't tell you how many times like Jess has bought, like a pair of jeans or something like that. She'll bring it home and realize that she can't, like the pockets on the jeans are sewn shut. There's still a pocket on the inside of the jean, but it's sewn shut.
why?
Exactly. Why? Why do clothing manufacturers do that? They curse women. They have false pockets, fake pockets, sewn shut pockets, no pockets at all on some stuff. It's just like, I don't get it.
It's the pocket mafia.
I think
Controlling
it
the
is.
world.
Yeah, it's big clothing.
It is,
They,
and
they want women to have to carry purses around. I'll bet you that's what it is. They want women to carry purses.
it's the purse mafia.
the purse mafia.
It's headed up by like Coach and.
Oh my God, we can't air this episode. They're going to be onto us. They're going to come after us.
I'm
not going to be safe in my own house, Mike.
I'm gonna die of 2 suicide shots to the back of the head.
That's right. That's right. I shot myself 3 times in the back of the head.
with no weapon found either.
That's right. While I was, kneeling forward in my bathtub full of water
right. Okay, we're getting
with
into
my hands tied behind
very
my back.
precarious political situations right here. This is well okay. No more.
These
more.
are completely conjecture and have no relation to any events, real or imagined, in the world.
What did you know about Hillary?
What? Who?
Exactly. Better keep up with that. And then our last one that I'm remembering, at least off the top of my head here, is someone actually said they enjoyed the podcast and loves hearing our episodes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We do this all for you.
All
of
it for you.
All three
all
of you.
three. And the 800 views my mom gives the podcast every day.
Refresh window. Refresh window.
Change IP address. VPN. Which brings us to our next sponsor, NordVPN.
NordVPN. We're not really sponsored by NordVPN.
Our production values would be much higher.
We need way more subscribers.
Way more subscribers.
We need like a few zeros on the end of our subscriber count.
The days of internet stardom and fame, not even looking for it. But if 3 million people want to come subscribe to us real quick, that'd be great too.
Boy,
I'm not going to complain.
Man, I'd have thought about something like 10,000 subscribers or something like that. 3 million, jeez.
Well, if you think about the ad revenue off of that, 10,000 views is like $1,000 or something at that point. When you have that many subscribers.
With that many subs, but I mean, for like 99% of like YouTube content creators, that 1,000 views would be like 4.7 cents or something ridiculous like that.
I can buy half a stick of gum with that.
That's right.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, you could before inflation.
Oh, inflation. That's about it off the top of my head. So, let's get into what you brought in. This is a total surprise.
We talked about doing trivia, Star Wars trivia, and I as I was pulling my shirt on today, Mos Eisley Cantina, where our friends don't like you and we don't like you either. I was thinking about those characters from that scene, specifically the alien guy, the one.
You're going to have to be more specific because there were several aliens in that cantina.
We don't like you, or my friend doesn't like you, and I don't like you either.
Dr. Evazan and Ponda Baba?
Ponda Baba, yes. Do you know the story that after the film, the story of what happens between Dr. Evazan and Ponda Baba?
Ooh, remnants of it. Little bits and pieces. I'll probably be reminded as you enlighten us.
This is, I thought it was super interesting as I was, reading through this stuff. So, in the cantina, Ponda Baba is drunk, and he doesn't like Luke standing there, thinks Luke's a stupid-looking farm kid, whatever.
Now,
tells him so.
Let me put this in Ponda Baba's words, okay?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be offended by that, too.
I think that was slightly paraphrased. But,
a little bit, but I'm a little rusty.
Yeah, so Dr. Evazan tells Luke, my friend doesn't like you. I don't like you either. We're wanted men, blah, blah, blah. Well, then,
he has the death sentence on 12
Yeah,
systems.
they have the death sentence in 12 systems. So Ponda Baba starts to attack Luke, but Obi-Wan had seen what happened, came over, whipped out the lightsaber, cuts off Ponda Baba's arm. The very first casualty to a lightsaber in the Star Wars universe that we saw on screen.
But there was blood there.
One little bit of trivia is that there was blood, even though in later Star Wars films it was explained that the laser or plasma or whatever the swords are made out of would cauterize a wound. So yeah, a little bit of trivia there is that the arm that falls to the ground and the blood that splatters is canonically incorrect.
Correct.
Even though it was the first instance. But so... The trivia about Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan, moving on from there, what they don't show you, you think like, okay, Obi-Wan just killed this guy. He's like cutting body parts off. He didn't. He didn't kill him. So what they don't show on screen is that Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan leave the cantina and after somehow make it through the hubbub that goes on of Luke and Han and Obi-Wan trying to get away and all the stormtroopers and everything, which to me is a little bit interesting. So they escape and they go back to their hideout where they had been like living and working out of and stuff like that as criminals and, scum and villainy. And Dr. Evazan tries to help Ponda Baba heal because this grievous injury, he's just lost his arm, from mid bicep up, botches it and almost kills Ponda Baba. And Ponda Baba is so offended by this that he swears vengeance on his former friend for almost killing him. never mind the guy who, chopped the arm off, but it's his pal who tries to save him but fails, swears vengeance on him, and they part ways. A while goes by, a couple of years or something goes by, and Ponda Baba, like, he gets over his anger, I guess, whatever.
Time heals all wounds.
Yeah, time heals all
wounds.
wounds.
Even in Star Wars.
Yeah. So
except for
he and Dr. Evazan happen upon each other, and Ponda Baba's like, okay, look, we can work together again. We were a good team of criminals, and I've gotten over it. I'm not going to try and kill you for almost killing me. So they go back into business together as criminals again, and they're doing their criminal thing for a while. So Dr. Evazan at one point finds some technology that would allow him to swap the brains of two bodies, or like the personalities of two bodies. So he comes up with this scheme to help Ponda Baba, where he is going to swap Ponda Baba's brain into another body and the other body into Ponda Baba's brain, so that Ponda Baba will no longer be crippled, walking around missing one arm. So they lure this like senator or something or into their like laboratory, and they capture him, get them into this machine, and Dr. Evazan pulls it off, and he brain swaps, like, out of an episode of Scooby-Doo or something, brain swaps these two bodies so that Ponda Baba's now in this senator's body, and they've got all these great grand plans. They're going to use his position and power to, scam people and stuff like that. However, they completely forgot about the fact that there's now this angry senator in the body of Ponda Baba, which, while it's missing an arm, is still, this like hulking alien, because those creatures, the Aqualish, are a very muscular, very physically imposing alien. So now there's this angry senator in the body of this Aqualish, and he starts like rampaging and almost kills the two of them. Almost murks these two guys. Could you imagine that? Like, this guy is like, oh, I want to show you my workshop. We've trapped you and we're brain swapping you. And now you're like in the body of, a grizzly bear. You're missing an arm, but you're in the body of a grizzly bear now. And they're
now my wheel is turning.
And they're like laughing like, ha ha ha, we did it, And you're like, oh, really? Well, what do I have to say? So yeah, almost murks these two, but they do successfully get away. And they end up actually having a little bit more of a falling out after that, and finally part ways. But tell me that would not make just an awesome Disney Plus TV show. The story of what happens after the cantina scene with Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan, of them having this falling out, their, brief stint as separate criminals, and then they come back together.
You're right. That is actually what I think we want to see as fans, isn't it?
That would be such an awesome show.
Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales from Jabba's Palace, little episodical things that take 2 to 3 episodes for each story, and move on to the next one.
Let's say do it as like 6-episode strings.
Sure.
That way you've got enough time to tell a good story, but not so much that production values get ridiculous and things like that. Just the tales from the Star Wars universe as a whole, all of the stuff that goes on, it's literally an entire universe full of possibilities. And we have stories that somebody sat down and fleshed out. I don't know if it was a comic book or a novel series or something, but somebody sat down and wrote out that little storyline like that. There's so much potential there.
I think
my
potential
God, that's so
everywhere.
much potential.
And
but they can't get away from Skywalker and Palpatine. Everything boils down to Skywalker and Palpatine.
It really does. I don't really
So
want to get into all
much
those topics right now.
I know.
You know what?
I know. We've had that conversation endless times out in the shop.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, how about we save that for like another podcast then? Let's write that down.
One day if we do a drinking podcast where we get angry after a few beers and we start ranting about the horrible things that they've done.
Because there are some things I'd like to see. There really are. I just barely get into it. It's like Andor touched on it a little, but
Andor opened the doors.
I think it really
did. Showed the possibilities.
Yeah, I kind of liked the everyday life aspect of it because you don't think too much about people having jobs because it just seems like a universe full of smugglers.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see things like A New Hope from the Empire's perspective.
Yeah.
Let's turn the camera the other direction and see what they were talking about in the boardrooms and what the stormtroopers were saying and what the officers were saying.
Yeah, what I would like to
that.
see is the disconnect between, the Palpatine plotters, the real evil guys, versus the normal people who are behind the consoles. And
like, dog, I'm just here for a job. I'm here for free college.
In the pilot chair of a shuttle and, whatever. Yeah,
there was one
were
comment.
in it for free college.
There was one comic about... I barely remember it. He was stationed on Endor in the bunker. He was the son of a rich guy, and then the Empire took over the rich guy's company, and he got his son got stationed on Endor, and he just wasn't a good fit for the Empire. He kept getting in trouble, and people didn't like it. I think it ends with him getting like murdered by an Ewok or something out back, something of that nature, and it was something like that. But it's like, that's what I want to see. Just show me everyday life. And then throw a twist on it, throw a Skywalker and a Jedi in, and wow, it's Star Wars.
Imagine, to think about, Dr. Evazan Ponda Baba, imagine here, his buddy just had his arm chopped off, right? And within minutes, well, not minutes, what was the time frame between when they were making the deal versus when they were trying to get to the Millennium Falcon and they had the shootout? It was only kind of a couple of minutes, really. Yeah. So his buddy just had his arm chopped off by some space wizard with a laser sword, and... he's freaking out. The two of them are freaking out. The stormtroopers in the city are all just going crazy. Ants, you kick the ant hive. Don't know what's going on. They're willing to shoot on sight for everybody. Here's these two shady-looking sus mofos running along. One of them's missing an arm, and they're trying to, like, duck and weave and avoid the authorities. And, maybe there's like a chase scene where one of the stormtroopers is like, hey, you, what's going on? Get over here. And they turn and run. And then there's a squad of stormtroopers chasing after them.
I got a great title for the show. Tuesday on Tatooine. That's it. We'll just call it that.
I don't know if all of it takes place on Tatooine because it's never
doesn't.
fleshed out where their hideout was that they ended up retreating to, that they successfully made it back to.
I just remembered what happened to the Imperial guy. He didn't get killed by an Ewok. He was finishing his rotation and was supposed to transfer back, but they basically saw him transferring data and stuff back and forth that were just regular communiques, but accused him of being a rebel spy, so he got sent to prison. That's what happened.
Literally because he was doing his job.
Right, pretty much.
Yeah.
But somebody didn't like the data streams and stuff that were going through. So, okay, before anybody corrects me, say he got killed by an Ewok, which... Oh, he did get, attacked by an Ewok or something and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm sure it was just another illustration in the story of how this guy's not a fighter. He's not a stormtrooper. He doesn't belong out here on the front lines trying to, keep from getting murked by
he was basically
teddy bears.
IT.
Yeah.
That's all he did. It was data communication, something of that nature. Just one of the most boring jobs you could ever possibly imagine anywhere.
Yeah.
Jobs that people nowadays are writing scripts to, not even doing their jobs. They're just letting it be automated and pushing a button every once in a while.
The number of IT professionals that write scripts to do their jobs, and they literally sit around all day doing nothing, collecting, six-figure salaries.
Dude, I'm proud of you, but I also feel really bad for you.
Hey, I don't.
It's like if you
I
have
don't
to,
feel
if
bad
you
for them at all.
If you actually have to go into your office just to
they
sit
work
somewhere
from home. Even if they have to go in, they're only in for a couple of hours on a Thursday afternoon.
Or is your company so
whatever.
strict that they make you stay on Zoom video call all day and in camera without something? Yeah, because things like that do go on. So.
Yeah. There's the companies that want to monitor you, they want to have constant webcam access, and
So, let's go ahead and cut it short and sweet. I think this has been a great episode. We shouldn't even have to have too much editing. Yay! But I think we'll continue that with the topic for next time. What do we want to see
That's not
in
a bad
Star
one.
Wars?
We still need to do another trivia thing, though.
We'll get back on the trivia
as an ongoing
thing.
10
episodes ago, we promised trivia.
No, it was 2 episodes ago.
Okay, 2 episodes ago. 10 episodes ago.
That's
42 episodes in the future.
In this post, we can't. Can we say yet?
I don't know.
Or is that still
virus of unknown origin.
In this world, post-virus of unknown origin, yeah, whether it was a week ago or 9.5 months ago, I can't remember. I simply cannot tell you.
No, it all it's just a big dark blur.
Yeah.
That's all it is anymore.
We have nothing to anchor us within the flow of time now.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to have to keep
everything
carrying
is the
this
same
on.
and blurs in.
This is one thing I will say that the virus of unknown origins changed. Like, since we had nothing to do, all I did was work. Every day.
Where 99% of the rest of the world wanted to do anything but work.
Right. But I had nothing else to do, so I just went to work. And that has fundamentally like changed me to 2023, to where I'm still in that habit.
Yeah.
That there's just not that much to do, and all right, I'm going to work. I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. It drives me nuts. Now things are changing. They're opening back up. We're getting conventions and everything again.
Yep.
So yay! We get to go out and see the world. Still don't want to go see a movie anymore. It just costs too much.
Yeah.
It's just way too much.
I don't mind the movie theater experience, but good Lord, the movie
it's
theater
got to
cost.
be epic. Like, Indiana Jones and the Diarrhea of Destiny, just, not going to go see it. Just don't want to. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is already on Disney+.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that,
it's like, I can wait.
Yeah, I
can just wait.
If
it's going to be like within 3 months, all right.
The cost of TVs has come down enough. I've got a big enough TV in my living room. I'm okay watching it at home from the comfort of my own couch.
I like to get that mood lighting stuff that like syncs up with.
Oh, like
with
the
that.
aura type stuff. Yeah.
I've seen the videos of the lightsaber fights and the colors changing. It's like, ooh, I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
I'm too broke for that. I got other things I want to do, like get a hot tub. Need a hot tub.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's been great. It's been fun for real this time. We are out of here, and we'll see you on the next one.